Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Sorry, we're a couple of minutes behind, but we'll get it started. Many of you might already know me if you're a current Bluebeam customer of ours here at TPM. But for those of you who are not familiar with myself, I'm Annie Langston. I am our Bluebeam Customer Success Manager over here at TPM. So really, I support our customers' needs on the Bluebeam side of things. Everything from answering questions holistically related to Bluebeam Revu, helping you to manage your licenses, purchase new licenses, anything and everything. I'm kind of your main point of contact over here at TPM. I've been here for almost 4 years now and work with a number of architects, engineers, contractors here in the Southeast and beyond. And if I'm not currently working with you, I would love to have a conversation with you, and we'll be sharing our contact information here at the end of the webinar. So thanks for joining. And Corey, I'll pass it on to you to introduce yourself.
Good morning. Again, my name is Corey Gaddy. I'm one of our technical solutions consultants at TPM. I train and support on Bluebeam as well as Civil 3D. My mission is to help the design community through standardization and training. I have 10 plus years of experience in the civil engineering industry, as well as I've done some teaching along the way. So if you interact with us, you're going to interact with myself or one of our other Bluebeam technical team members. So for the webinar, we're going to talk about Bluebeam custom tools. Okay? And that's going to cover custom markups, custom symbols, custom measurements and counts, as well as we will talk about custom line types.
Custom Toolsets is one of the differentiating factors between Bluebeam and other PDF software programs. Your custom tools are found in your tool chest on either the left panel or the right panel inside the software. For me, it's over here on the left panel. It looks like a briefcase or a doctor's bag. This section of the interface is called the tool chest, and inside of that tool chest you have tool sets. Inside of the tool chest, I have the tool set Corey's Company, and inside of that tool set I have custom tools that I created with custom properties associated with it. The purpose of these tool sets are to give a certain trade, industry, or department individualized, customized tools based upon certain colors that might indicate what that department or that reviewing agency or that division is. Certain at Corey's Company, I'll have a certain color associated with the tools that I use for my company. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create a markup. All right, so something like a text box. I'll define the limits of that text box, and then I'll put a little bit of text in it. All right. Now the way that text box comes in by default is what's set up as my default for text boxes. Okay. And so what I can do from there is I can go ahead and customize that markup. I'll need to be inside of my properties menu. It looks like this little cogwheel. It'll be on the left panel or on the right panel in the interface. Okay. The other way to get to the properties menu is to right click on the markup and go to properties. That'll also open up this menu. Once inside that menu, you can go ahead and customize this text box. So maybe for Corey's Company, I want to have my markups the color green. So I can go ahead and change some of the properties of this text box to be green. So I change the line around it. Okay. You want to make sure that it has a line width. That's what produces that line around the text box. Maybe I want my fill color to be something like a light green. So I'll take that same color green and I'll just give it an opacity, right? Something like 60 or 40 or something that allows me to kind of see inside of that text box. And then I could change the font color. Maybe I wanted something that contrasts with green a little bit better, like maybe red. Okay. All right, and then I can kind of play around with this text box. Maybe I decide that the text is not showing up so well yet, so maybe I bump that fill opacity down a little bit to 20, 25, 30, something like that. And you'll notice that there's a variety of other things I could change. I could change the line style I could go dashed if I wanted to. Okay, whatever I want to make that line. All right, I can change the font type, the font size. I could align the text in a certain way. A variety of things I can do here. But once I get this tool the way I want it, then what I can do from there is either right click on it and go add to tool chest and add it to Corey's company. Or I can do it from the properties menu here. There's also the option to add it to the tool chest for Corey's company. So I'll get that text box, the customized version of it, add it to Corey's company. And so I have that available in that tool set. So there's a couple things I'll mention about the tool set. All right, when I first add that tool in, you'll see that it comes in drawing mode. So it literally looks like the tool that I originally used. And so if I use it again, it's going to come over literally the same way I originally created it. So if instead I want to use the properties whenever I create the text box and have a custom sort of brand new text box with its own text in it, then I'll right click on it and I'll change it from drawing mode to properties mode. And that way you see the symbol goes to a more generic look, and then I can take that symbol and use that to create a text box from scratch. So two ways to use it. Either I use the literal sense. If it's text that I use all the time, maybe I do want it to be in a literal sense where I can just bring that same text over all the time for my tool set. Otherwise, I'll make sure it's in properties mode so that I can create it from scratch and put brand new text in that text box. So other thing nice to note about the tool set is that there's a different view if you want to for how you view these tools that are there. So I'll go to the cogwheel here for the properties and setup of that tool set. And I can change this to detail view. And now in detail view, what it'll show me is the actual subject. So I could put something that shows me a little bit more detail about the tool that I'm going to use by changing the subject to something nice here. And that way gives the user a little bit more information about the application of this particular tool. So before we did a custom markup based upon any of the markup tools available, we can also do a custom measurement. So what we'll do is go to tools and go to measure. All right, we'll pick the measuring tool we want to use. All right, so maybe I want to show the dimension here. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll utilize this dimension to go ahead and scale my drawing. So I first use that tool. It's going to ask me to apply a scale to that page. So what I'll do is I can either pick from preset scale. If I knew the scale of the drawing was supposed to be 1 inch equals 10 or 20 or whatever, I could pick it. Otherwise, I'll go to the custom option. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and click on calibrate to go ahead and calibrate my drawing based upon a known measurement. It's going to ask me to select 2 points in order to calibrate this drawing. So I'll go ahead and select each side of this dimension. Okay, you see it snapping to me. This is a nice vector style doc. Okay. I'll go ahead and tell the document or the program that that document should be 16 feet measured across that dimension. I can decide what units I want to use, set those units. I can also decide what precision I want. But I'm going to go ahead and apply the scale. It's going to tell the document that it should be 16 feet. Okay, so now we got that measurement set there and calibrated. And then from there, now that the measurement's in the drawing, what I can do is customize that measurement by clicking on it. Go to the properties menu just like we did before, and then I can change colors and everything associated with that measurement. All right, so that changes the color of the line, kind of that information. I can change the fill color for the arrows on it as well, okay, to be consistent. And then I can change the font color of the text if I want it to be consistent with the rest of the measurement. Okay, similar options to before. We can change the font size. We can change the font type. Okay, I can also change those leaders if I wanted to make those look a little bit different. If I prefer to have my measurement show up a little bit differently, I have the option to do the one at the beginning and the one at the end. So I can customize this measurement as appropriate. Okay, I can decide if I want to actually see the caption on it or not. Okay, turn that on and off. All right. So a bunch of options in here as it relates to that measurement. Once I get it customized the way I like it, so I can add that tool to my tool chest as well. So it'll be Corey's company. And then I'll have that measurement available in my tool chest. So I could use it once again in a literal sense by clicking on the icon here and bringing it over. All right. Or I could right click on it, change it to properties mode, and then I could do it from scratch here. If I wanted to measure somewhere else, then I could do that. And apply that measurement. I could also create a custom symbol out of my drawing. Okay. If I needed a symbol representing something, what I could do is I can go to something like my toilet, which is in my drawing, and I could create a symbol out of that toilet. All I need to do is go to edit. I'll take a snapshot of the toilet. Go ahead and put a little window around the toilet. That puts it on my clipboard. And then what I can do from there is come over and do a Control V or right click paste to get that snapshot in my drawing. Okay, now I have my toilet here. I could even take that snapshot and I could change the color of it by clicking on it. And I'll go up here to color processing. And I could change the source color from black and then change it to something like a red, or maybe for my tool set, since I'm going with green, maybe I make it green. Okay. Hit OK, and it'll change the color of the toilet to green. So to go further down the toilet route, no pun intended, what I can do with that toilet is I can turn it into a symbol. All right, so anything I add into my drawing, I can make it into a symbol. And what I'll have to do is I'll have to grab it from my tool set, so it does have to be in a new tool set, and then I'll right click on it and I can create a count out of it. So by turning that toilet into a count, all right, and now every time I place that toilet as a count, what it'll do is I'll bring it into my drawing, I'll use it. So I'll put the toilet wherever I need it. If I need to add one in somewhere, whatever, I'm just going to place a couple in here. Okay. After I add it in, then what I can do is I'll get a couple in a couple places. I'm just going to pop a few in here, anywhere. Excuse the bad engineering here. All right. So I get a couple on there, and what I can do is I can look down into my markups list. There's my count measurement. All right. You'll see it's got 5 on there for my count. All right. So it's kind of allowing you to start your quantities a little bit by using that symbol as a count measurement. Speaking of count measurements, there are manual ways of adding counts to a drawing by going to measure, going to count here. So if I just want to quickly get a count of how many tubs are on here, I'll just add a few check marks here for the tubs. Okay. And once I get that count in there, I do have the ability to customize it. Okay. Good thing about a count is that they're grouped together. So I'll go ahead and customize it, make it green. Okay. Turns all over green. Make whatever other changes I want to make to it. If I want a different symbol, I could. You can see the toilets available there, all right, that I could use. But once I get it the way I want it, same thing, I'll go ahead and add it to my tool chest, Corey's company. There's that measurement. I could be a little bit more exact if I wanted to. Call this guy subject tubs. And then I can have that guy into my tool chest. So let me right click, delete this one. And click on that one. Add this one to my tool chest. And to Corey's tool set. Here. It's tubs. Along with customization, we can make custom line types. whatever kind of line type you need. If you need something specific to show up on the line, you can make a custom line type. Now it's going to be added to an actual shape, like a perimeter or a square or a rectangle, maybe the area measurement. Some of those shapes are what you're going to add in a custom line type to. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create a shape first. There's my rectangle. Okay. I can customize it for Corey's tool chest.
How did I create Corey's tool set to begin with? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we can address that. All right, so I'm inside the software here in Review 20. Okay, and Corey's tool chest was found over here on the left side of the interface. Okay, so what I did was to get Corey's tool chest over here. Let me go ahead and make sure Corey's tool chest is showing. Okay. All right, so great. It's not, so I'll go ahead and show you right now how to create it. So I'll go to the tool chest, and then I go to Manage Tool Sets. Okay. All right, and then I'll go here to Add. Okay, and then that's where I created Corey's company. So that was my new tool set. And you just have to make sure that tool set is saved. So it'll go to the default folder for where your tool sets are saved. So I'll go ahead and save this guy. All right, and then I have to make sure it's turned on here, Corey's company. And that's where it shows up. So then I can start adding tools to it. Okay. Right. Another question is there a way to share custom tool sets with other users? Yes, there is. You can export this tool set out once it's created. So up in the tool chest, this main section, this is sort of the options and preferences for all of these tool sets that are down here. This is your main tool chest area. So if I do the drop down next to tool chest and go to manage tool sets, that's where we were before, where I showed you how to turn it on and off. This is also where you can add a new one. Okay. If you want to share it, what you do is click on the tool set you want to share, and then you go to export. Okay. And then you pick a location where you want to share it. So this is where you're going to save it. So maybe a share file location, maybe a network or something like that. So you would export it out to some shared location or a flash drive or whatever you want to use to share it. Okay, you'll save it. And then on the other end, when it comes time to bring it in as the other user, if that other user wants to bring it in this same section, they'll go to import. And then they'll just find that file in that shared location and bring it back in. All right, there's another question here. It says, I don't have those same available tools in the tool chest. All right, so the tool chest will come with certain tool sets up here. Out of the box, I think you'll get like art, contractor, engineer, general measurements. This is all tied to your actual profile, okay? So if you don't see the same tools here, it's either because I've created a custom one that you don't have, or it's because under review and profiles, you're in a different profile than I am. So review advanced, review quantity takeoff, field issues, these are kind of all out of the box. Maybe even this advanced one, I'm not sure about that one. But the rest of these are out of the box. So if you click on, say, review advanced is going to give you the additional ones like architect, contractor, engineer. Okay. So it's all about the profile you're in that's producing the tool sets in the tool chest for you. Okay. There are some I created myself, like Corey's company. But some of these other ones are out of the box. So you should see these other that are out of the box. There was a question about buying tool sets. Okay, I think there are some available on the web. I think Bluebeam has a few that are out there that are available. So you just might want to, do a quick Google search on Bluebeam tool sets. There are a few available out there. We can create some for you if you don't have the time or capacity to make a tool set. That is something that we do as well, is create tool sets others, and you might have seen some company names kind of showing up in my tool chest there. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I will say, I'll just add on to what Corey said regarding the ability to find um, additional tool sets related to the architecture space. You can, if you Google Bluebeam Revu Tool Chest Extension Kit, that'll take you to a page, and then you can tab over to the architecture landscape tab, and there are additional tool set extensions that you can then download and import into your Bluebeam Revu program.
Awesome. Thanks, Annie. In the chat, we have, yes, the YouTube account is TPM Solutions. So if we go to YouTube, all right, you'll want to quickly type in as a whole word TPM Solutions. So without the space is sort of the way to quickly get to us. So TPM Solutions. Oops, I didn't spell it completely correct, but there it is, TPM Solutions. And that takes you to our channel. Okay, if you search in our channel, Bluebeam, then there's a variety of videos available here. All right, and we will have the webinar added to our channel as well. So if you had problems with the audio, this is where that webinar will be located for you guys to check it out. All right. So we'll give a second for other questions to show up, but while we do, we'll go ahead and transition to the next slide of our PowerPoint. So let me move over there. All right. So Annie, go for it.
Okay, so for those of you who already work with us over here at TPM, potentially on the Bluebeam side of things, maybe Autodesk, or we support any of your hardware needs. You may be familiar with the different facets of our business. For those of you who aren't, or just a reminder, TPM, by the facts here quickly, we have been in business almost 50 years. We are located in the Southeast, and we provide a number of other solutions and services for the AEC space, as well as the manufacturing side of things. So I'd say the big parts of our business include software, of course, hardware, support and services of both of those technologies, as well as creating a number of marketing materials and or graphics for your offices or vehicles. Our color lab does a number of different things, but this is just to remind you of the different ways we can support other areas of your business. So please reach out to myself or Corey if you do have an interest in discussing any of these items further, and we'd be happy to connect you with the appropriate colleague of ours here at TPM. Don't want to forget the 3D laser scanning. That's a part of our business that is really kind of has been booming. So we provide outsourced 3D scanning services for many of you who may need that, but just on a project by project basis. So multifaceted, definitely a great local resource for many of you, and would love to support other areas of your business. We also, one of the big parts of our business is ongoing support and enablement for your team. So we offer training a number of different ways, one of which is our open enrollment classes that we offer for both the Autodesk side as well as Bluebeam. So here's an upcoming calendar of events for June. We have a Bluebeam, an AutoCAD class, June 14th through 16th. We have a Bluebeam Essentials Basic and Advanced class on June 16th. The Essentials Basic is in the morning, the Advanced is the afternoon, as well as Revit MEP later on that month, the 21st and 22nd. We also provide, we can provide a customized engagement for many of you. So if you feel like, you know, the Bluebeam Essentials Basic or Advanced class fits some of your needs, but maybe not quite all, we can work with you to come up with a customized agenda based on your specific needs, workflows, existing gaps, and deliver that to you, whether that's in person or virtually. So please keep that in mind as well.
Right. So I will share our contact information here. All right. Real quickly, that was Annie speaking. Like I said, she's an account rep for Bluebeam. So contact about licenses and purchases and all that kind of stuff will go through her. And then you can also email me direct at coreygaddy@tpm.com if you need to speak with me more on a technical need. Also, generally, we can be contacted through our support line at support@tpm.com. So that's where you can reach out to our support line if you have issues with the software and things of that nature.
Yeah, and if you guys, if you do have some questions that arise throughout the day related to tool chest customization or just, any other areas of Bluebeam, please feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call on my direct line. It's 864-679-3039, and we'd be happy to have a conversation about whatever your questions or needs are.
All right, guys. I don't see any other questions showing up in the chat here. If anything comes up, just reach out to us directly, and you can look for the webinar if you're having some issues there hearing it. Just look for it. It'll be posted here soon, so you can look out for it. Sorry for any technical issues that you might have experienced. You guys have a great day, and thanks for attending. We really appreciate it.